KM Radio, it's your boy Tony G, Big Lou, Tuesday night. Thanks for tuning in. Lots to talk about. We got NBA. Of course, we got the NFL playoffs to talk about. We're filming this. The national championship is going on. So there's a lot of sports betting going on. And we're going to lead it off with the NBA. What you got going on in the NBA?
Well, what we got going on in the NBA, as far as the NBA headlines, big headline, LeBron James was not voted as a starter in the All-Star game. So that's big news, but he hasn't played. So I understand why he's not in the All-Star game, but the NBA is different. They feel like this is like a we don't know farewell tour, so they were thinking maybe that he, because it's LeBron that he should be there, but he doesn't have the stats to prove it, I guess. So they're getting him out the door. The Thunder's Williams is out at least a couple of weeks with an injury. Porzingis and Rasasha, they'll miss at least another week with their injuries, and the NBA refs are to resume wearing headsets during the game.
And what advantage does that give them? What advantage does that play for?
I guess they can better communicate with each other with crowd noise, and I guess I'm not sure of what was the cause of it, but they have actually tomorrow they're going to have a scheduled test, and it's going to continue through February 12th before the league breaks for All-Star weekend. So this is a test run to see if it works. So they're going to have the headsets clipped onto their uniforms. Then they'll use them during instant replays to review other stoppages, but not actually during live play. So they won't have them on during live play, but they'll have them on during instant replays of that.
Yeah, I'm reading that they're hoping to improve accuracy of game flow. Similar systems like the NFL and soccer. It helps resolve calls faster and keeps officials coordinated with players, also sometimes using microphones for broadcasters through referees on focus of new communication tech. So hopefully that will definitely make a difference. I was looking at the standings, and how surprised are you that Detroit's 30-10?
30-10. They got some mojo going over there in the Motor City.
They do. They were kicking it last season too. They had some. They were up and coming, and me and you had talked about it and said, next season they could really put together some. And they are. I mean, they're 30-10. I mean, that's the second best record in all basketball, next to Oklahoma, who's 36-8. So yeah, hats off to them bringing some good basketball back to Detroit, which is always good. Yeah, always. It's good seeing the revitalization of Detroit, New York Knicks.
Absolutely.
And
it's good to see the rebirth of the East. The East is coming back to where they are being dominant in basketball. Kudos.
Yeah, definitely making. The Thunder just keeps rolling. I was reading the thing, and I was going back to something you had said about they're talking about the identity for the Lakers, and somebody was, and there was an announcer, and he was saying, he goes, I'm a Laker fan too. He said, but realistically, I know that this team isn't built to win anything because they can't stop anybody. You know what I mean? Like they're probably going to the playoffs. And they'll put on a little flash, a little here, a little there. He said, but at the end of the day, they're terrible on defense. Like you always say, they can't stop anybody.
Right. And, and the way these teams are setting themselves up now to where they flow on both offensive and the defensive side of the court.
Right.
I mean, they can never have. We got all they got all kind of firepower in the world. But if you can't stop your opponent, or if it's not difficult for your opponent to score, then you got to compensate for the ones that are lacking in defense.
Right. Right. And somebody hit me up and was asking me about betting lives, over unders on basketball. And my suggestion to you is make sure you pay attention to how much time and what quarter it is, because I know there's some people out there that like to make third quarter bets, fourth quarter bets, which is not a bad technique. But you just got to really make sure um, what's going on. Is it a blowout? Because if it's a blowout, most of the
It's
time
in
they
the
pull.
start.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're sitting everybody. The games that you really want to try to key on are ones that are real tight, real close. Those are usually the ones at better percentages to go on the over um, than somebody that's got a 28-point lead late into the
Hmm.
third, and there's a good chance that you'll never see. And that's another thing about betting live points. You got to be careful there because if SGA is, you got him at 32 points and they're already up by 38 points and he's got 28. I've seen him sit him, especially the
Yeah.
last 8 minutes of game. There's no point, there's no point in taking any chances um, with the injury, any kind of injury. So that's just some heads up on my position. I'm betting live over unders and basketball. You got to really pay attention to that. How much time is really left? Make sure you see the quarter. We all make mistakes. Hey, I thought it was the fourth quarter, and it turned out to be the third quarter, and there was 8 minutes left, and you got to really pay attention. And sometimes on your betting app, it isn't the most current time. Sometimes you need to
Hmm.
pay attention to ESPN or watching the game live or stream or however you want to watch it. So that's just some heads up on, uh, on the bets and your prop bets if you're going to um, try to bet them live. This is something you gotta watch because you bet $100 on somebody and they get hurt, it's over.
Hmm.
That's it. You don't get your money back. So you got to be real
Done deal.
careful.
Yeah.
Got to be real careful
Absolutely.
on your. And remember, we always tell you guys to reach out to the show. Hit us up on our Facebook page, either KM Radio or um, Sportsbook. Reach us up if you have any kind of local events, team promotions, or anything that you have, or any kind of advertisement. Radio station will get back with you promptly. We have salespeople on deck. So just get back if you're interested in sponsoring our show or another show that we have. We have quite a few shows. So reach out to the office, and they will definitely get you taken care of. Let's go to. I guess it's time we go to the NFL.
Hmm.
First game, because it was the first game on Saturday, the Bills and
Right.
Broncos. Um,
Hmm.
at the end of the day, they did a heck of a job for what they had to work with. A lot of
Yeah.
injuries, but a lot of people have a lot of injuries, and they lost in overtime. Buffalo lost in overtime. Hats off to Denver, but they may have won the battle, but they may have lost the war. Bo Nix is out,
Yeah. On this out.
broken, yeah, broken bone, and they showed the play that they said it happened, but he didn't. He wasn't
Didn't look
limping.
like right.
Yeah,
It didn't look like it would be serious like that.
no, no, no. It did not look like it was serious. But now they're going to advance to play New England in
Hmm.
the AFC Championship game. Like I said, hats off. In this game, the over obviously was a good bet. And Bo Nix he threw more yesterday than I had seen him in a while, 279 yards. Um, Allen had 283, but he had two interceptions. They had fumbles. There was a lot of things going on here. And again, I think, in my personal aspect of it, Josh Allen is great, unbelievable. There's no doubt about it. He can run, he can pass, he can do anything. but it can't all be him. You know what I mean? It was the
Right.
same thing with Lamar. You can't put the whole every
Can't put the whole
game
thing
on.
on him.
Yeah, he's got to be able to move around and put it on. Somebody else has got to pick up the torch,
Right.
um, and carry it out. I mean, these guys just one guy cannot. Like I said, there was a lot of fumbles. Um, they
Yeah.
got
A lot of
cooking.
fun.
Yeah, going into the half, it was 20-6. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Buffalo has some missed opportunities. What do you think about the call? So I look at it. He caught the ball and he was
Mm-hmm.
rolling, and the guy took the ball out and they awarded it to, I mean, really, that was the game. They
Yeah.
awarded him the interception.
Mm-hmm.
So you could look at it one way and say, oh, no, that was a catch. It was, but the rules are a little foggy to me.
Yeah.
If he had total control and he hit the ground, it would have been caught and that would have been it. But I'm thinking because he didn't have total control and he didn't make a football move, right? That
Mm-hmm.
that ball was just up for grabs until hitting the ground. And that's
Right.
what I got out of it. I don't know. Um, I mean, because I mean, they played it 8,000 times. You got to look at it from
Yeah.
every angle.
Angle. Yeah.
So
Go ahead.
no, go ahead. You thinking the football move that he didn't make because he was coming down and then he hit the ground and obviously the ball was moved, or he didn't have total control. He had two hands on it too,
Mm-hmm.
and then he came up with the ball.
Right.
And there was a couple pass interferences that I was like, wow, they didn't call that. But yeah, go ahead and
Yeah.
tell me what you think about that catch.
Okay. And first off, it was a catch, but uh, the I think it's called a Megatron rule, where
Okay,
the receiver, and this is similar to the Dez Bryant ordeal in the Green Bay game
okay,
when he hit the ground, caught it, but he hit the ground and it kind of slipped out his hand. So because of that, he has to have full possession of the ball once he hit the ground. Now,
okay,
had had the defender not been able to retrieve the ball from him, that would have been a catch because the tie goes to the receiver. So had
okay.
he held on to it and both of them hit the ground, but they both had it, they
Right,
would have gave it to the receiver. The tie go to the receiver. But the fact that he was able, the momentum of him rolling made it able for him to dislodge the ball from his hands and get possession of it.
right.
Therefore, they ruled it an interception because the ball never touched the ground. Now, if the ball had
Okay,
touched the ground when he ripped it out, it's incomplete pass.
right. I
Had
got
he
that. Yeah.
maintained, yeah, had he maintained possession, it's catch. If it's both of them maintain possession, tie goes to the receiver.
Correct.
So yeah, so it was kind of, the way that it played out, me watching it over and over again, it would have been kind of impossible for him to keep the ball because the momentum of the defender rolling over, that momentum was the reason why he was able to take the ball out of his hands in the first place.
So
So
the
that's
other
why they
thing,
ruled it interception.
another thing though, but they really didn't look at it very long. It
They
really
did
wasn't.
not. They
I
did
mean,
not.
I would have thought that would have been way more. I mean, that
Right.
was that decided that game to me. Um,
Right. At
so
least look at it as long as as many as time as they've replayed it and we watched it at home, at least have that, at least put that momentum into seeing if that call was right or not. Play it, watch it, and then make a call. That call was kind of quick, though. I agree with you on that.
I mean, only because there was a lot on the line. You know, what I mean, there was a
Right.
lot. This wasn't just Game 7 in October or anything. This was
No,
to go.
every
Yeah,
game
this
is
is
game set.
yeah. Yeah. So this is, going. This is to go to the NFC Championship, which is a big deal. Um,
Yeah.
I uh, like I said, I watched it. Adding to that, Sean McDermott got fired this morning. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
so there's a lot of thoughts on this too. For me,
Yeah.
so I think
I
Sean
want to get.
McDermott is a great coach.
Mm-hmm,
Absolutely. Um, but sometimes you gotta rattle things up in order
mm-hmm.
to get a different result. And we haven't had the result that we've been wanting for as a Bills fan or anyone because we have this generational quarterback that you don't get too many of them in your lifetime. You know what I mean? You're lucky
Mm-hmm.
to get.
Yeah,
So and he's starting to get. He's 30. He's not 25. I'm not
not
saying he's
spring
old by
chicken.
any
Right.
means, but we
Not
need to
old, but he's
be. Yeah,
yeah.
and they promoted Bean the vice president of football, and I don't know. So, because I get, well, number one is whoever coach they get, usually the coach and the general manager are a package deal or some kind of.
Mm-hmm.
They got to be on the same
Yeah.
same deal. Now, I will
Right.
say this: Brian Dubal, who was the offensive coordinator for the Buffalo Bills,
Okay.
2018, 2021,
Mm-hmm.
and he's kind of known as a quarterback whisperer. Um, in those years that he was at Buffalo, the offense was electrifying.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think the Eagles were talking to him for because they need offense. So um,
Mm-hmm.
we're talking about being an offensive coordinator because they need to do something.
Yeah, they
But
definitely do something.
yeah, and I just I look through the list and I go, well, okay, let's look at the list. Harbaugh's gone. Some of the other guys I don't really want. Um,
Stefanski is probably finalizing a deal in Atlanta.
Yeah. So, and Brian Duvall fits into our program well. He wasn't, I mean, I don't know. I'm just looking at that. And then I looked, then you say Pittsburgh. Um, uh, and, somebody brought up, was like, well, I don't think he's a good fit for Buffalo. And
Right.
then I was like, and then they said, well, he's not. You guys need an offensive somebody with an offensive mind. You get a defensive coordinator, and then, I mean, he goes, he's really all defense guy. And I was like, he goes, how does that benefit the use of Josh Allen? And I said, very good
Right.
point. I mean, that
Mm-hmm.
definitely is a good point. And the other thing
But
is about his football style that some
yeah.
people think that maybe that old style isn't necessarily the best way.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know. What's
Uh,
your thoughts on?
what do y'all think about promoting Joe Brady, making him the head coach? You know,
Not a
him and
bad.
him and uh him and Josh Allen work well. He's an offensive genius.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
come from LSU, and
yeah.
he's up in the booth calling those plays. So, what do y'all think about maybe you know uh promoting him to head coach? He still run, oversee the offense, but get a uh, a lights out defensive coordinator in there, like you say, to
Right,
revamp the defense and have that general manager get them a number one wide receiver and problem solve. It's a simple fix. Now, I
right.
do think that they need to get a fresh back in there to put pressure on James Cook to hold on to the football.
Yeah, yeah. That's. I mean, I
And
can't.
uh and I think that's and I think they're good to go. Now, uh I would have questions about, Bosa and a couple of players that's, getting close to the edge a little bit, kind of freshen the defense up, make it a little younger, get some guys in there, but definitely get Josh Allen the number one to throw to. I don't have too many
Yeah,
problems.
yeah,
I'm up and down with Keon Coleman. Every play, one play, I love him. Next play, I'm ready to punch him. But he needs number one. Somebody that no matter what, he can go to. Love the tight ends. Kincaid, Kurt, that hands down, those guys are great. Or Shakir.
right.
Shakir. So I love the tight ends, but they need a number one. They need a number one receiver. They need to get him there.
Yeah, I agree. I
Which is
mean, they're
yeah.
definitely they got. I mean, and that's the thing. Like I said, Maduro's a great coach. He's going to go somewhere. But
Hmm.
stirring up the pot sometimes.
Yeah.
Um, it's just maybe it's time. I mean, they Harbaugh's got let go. Um, God, what is his name from Pittsburgh? I just forgot his name. Uh,
Tomlin.
Tomlin got let go. I mean, these are long
Yeah.
term tier. Sometimes you just got to get somebody else in there that can make some changes, and especially when you're watching the progression and going, we're doing the same thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Really, I mean, we're
And
getting knocked out of the playoffs. We got a lot of injuries, but I know that, but everybody's got a lot of injuries. You know what I mean? It just um, so that's kind of where I'm at. Now, I don't know if you watched this game, but Seattle showed me that that's why they are the number one seed, and there ain't nothing to play with.
oh, that was just BTA all game long.
Holy
With
cow! What was it?
with
They ran back a kickoff, right?
yeah. Right. Raheem
First.
Shaheed. What do you know? What do you know, New Orleans?
I
Huh,
know,
look at
right?
there. Look at there, New Orleans. Yeah. He ran it. Anytime the special team makes a play like that, especially at the
First play of the
beginning of the
game.
game, yeah, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard after that. And they were BTA the whole game.
They they were Kenneth Walker, the third. He had three touchdowns and 116 yards. I mean, he was getting at it. I mean,
Hmm.
Sam Darnold, 124 yards, one TD, nothing. They just that defense just. Um, and I know San Fran, they've got a lot. And then they were so depleted. Um,
Yeah,
with injuries is just not, and they were all over McCaffrey. I mean, I think he had 30, 35 yards, something like that.
yeah. Hmm.
I think well, I'm gonna look. Hold on, let me look. So rushing, Brock Purdy was leading the he led the San Francisco 49ers in rushing, 37 yards. Um, but that defense, holy cow.
Oh man. Legion of Boom 2.0.
Legion of Boom, uh um I it's crazy. It really, really is. It really is crazy. I just watched them dominate. And they're going to be something. You know what I mean? They're going
Oh
to
yeah,
that defense pushes a lot of makes teams make a lot of mistakes. Um, and Purdy only had one interception. It wasn't like he had a bunch. Um,
yeah.
but like I said, I mean, it was definitely a show of. I mean, going into the half, it was 24-6. At that point,
Hmm.
I was like, man, I don't. I was like, I just
Checked
don't
out.
see. Yeah, I didn't see them get anything
Right.
else. And then the third quarter, they come and they put 10 on them, and I'm like, holy cow! All right, and now you're at 34, and it was over. I knew it was
Right.
over, and they just couldn't. And Seattle is one of those teams where they'll have a 7 minute drive. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So if
Yeah.
you can't if you can't, and that defense is so tough that if you can't score quick, man, they'll eat up the time and put all the points on the board. You know what I mean? You're going to have to strike quick, um, and get and put some pressure on them, and it just wasn't there. It just wasn't there, like I said, and San Francisco, he's a great coordinator, defense core. I mean, great coach. So but like I said, they were just down with so many people playing hurt. Um, just wasn't a lot out there for him, Lou. I mean, it was a beatdown. Like I said, Sam Arnold played good football, and
Yeah.
it's so crazy to think that this guy has a really good shot. I mean, a good
Yeah.
shot of winning a Super Bowl,
Yeah.
and good for him. You know what I mean? That's
Just
really
takes,
pretty.
it just takes the right system. It just takes the right system, and once they get that right system and it start making sense, and that system makes the game slow down and make it easy for them, oh, it's lights out after that.
Somebody was telling me, and this is the same thing about owning a business. Finding people's strengths and exploiting their strengths. Do not ask them to do things that you know that they're weak at, um, and exploiting their strength instead of,
Right.
like, well, I need you to do it like this, but they could do it like that. So if that is a strength for them, try to
Mhm.
cultivate it. And sometimes and sometimes human nature is just, my way, highway, the whole 9 yards,
Right.
kick rocks. And I
Hmm.
get all that. But when you
Yeah.
find someone that says, hey, because at the end of the day, Sam Arnold is a good quarterback, a very good
Yeah.
quarterback. Is he the
Yeah.
greatest quarterback ever? No, but he's a very good quarterback. You know what I mean? And as far as attributes, I mean, when you look at Tom Brady, he wasn't the fastest. He didn't have the he didn't his arm wasn't the strongest in the league. He just knew how to play football. His football
Hmm.
IQ was off the chart, and they won Super Bowls, 6 of them to be
Right.
exact, and he won seven.
Absolutely.
Another one, absolute. So all that being said is, I get it. It's great to have that great. It's kind of like, and this is really, it was like the Bills having OJ and Detroit
Hmm.
having Barry Sanders.
Yeah.
I know Emmett has more yards than him, but man, as a runner, and I like Earl Campbell. I the bus. I mean, there's all kind of guys that I
Oh
like.
yeah.
OJ,
Hmm.
Marcus Allen. I go on and on. But man,
Hmm.
as a natural runner, just somebody that man was amazing. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah.
Just
Yeah.
amazing. And he stood
Hmm.
with that. He stood with them 9 years. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
and never ran. I think in his last year that he ran, I think it was 1,700. That was his last year. The year before that was 15. It was, if you look at his resume, it's 1,300, 1,400, 1,500, 1,600, 1,700, 1,800, 1,300. I mean, it was just like, oh, this guy was doing it all. All
Literally.
right. So when we get back, we're gonna we still got two more games to talk about, and then we'll break
Yep.
down the head-on-head with the spreads and see all what everybody is, where the smart money, where the sharps are putting their money, as they say. All
Yep.
right.
And I got some NFL teams across the league too. That's gonna
Okay,
be
cool.
interesting for us too. Yeah.
Good, 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 good. Yeah. So, like I said, reach out to us at our Facebook page, um, and the KM Radio, the sports book. Like I said, events, advertising. Want to be a sponsor for any show, or have whatever you got. The radio station, they do all kind of advertising, TV advertising, digital signs. You can do it all through KM Radio. All right, guys, we'll be back here right on KM Radio where we go ham.
Damn.
Ham Radio, we go ham. It's your boy Tony G, Big Lou, Tuesday night, 8 o'clock. I want to thank everyone for tuning in as we always do. Without you, there'd be none of us. So we got two more games to talk about, and we got some football tea. Then we got to cover the spreads and over unders and everything for the next two games. The
Right.
Texans and the Patriots. The Texans defense kept us as close as it was. DJ
Yeah.
Stroud looked terrible. I mean, he was
Man,
just
he checked out. He checked out, Tony. The turnovers, the slouching, when when a quarterback's shoulders go down, it's a done deal. It's a done deal. When those shoulders go like this, it checked out. Uh, that's the turnovers, the weather, uh, and He just didn't play up to par, and and that's something that the Houston Texans are going to have to look into. Meltdown.
I mean, he had 4 interceptions. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
if and the defense was on the field for a long time.
Yes.
And they made, and I know here I go. And if you're out there and you say you're being a New England hater, they made New England look than way better than they are. I don't care what you say. I mean, they're pretty good, but I'm telling you,
Yeah,
they made him look. Um, but they just
like
couldn't
they
get.
like they're Super Bowl ready.
Yeah, and the thing is I believe, um, and we'll talk about that too. And I believe they're
Mhm.
going to go because of the Bo Nix injury. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's not taking. Hey, man, I wish it was us. You know what I mean? I really do. I wish we
Right.
were. Yeah, the
Right.
quarterback broke his leg and the backup, man. That's fine. I'll take the Super Bowl ring. Um, I mean, Drake May. I mean, he had an interception. He threw
Hmm.
for 179 yards, 3 TDs.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
of
That
course.
Buschetti catch was out of this world.
Yeah.
The
Right.
Bush
Right.
out
Yeah.
of this world. I
So
might put it up there with the Odell Beckham catch. I
yeah, it
might
was
put
a
it up
heck.
there with that one.
It was a heck of a catch. But it goes back to the same thing. New England's head coach went somewhere else, didn't do
Hmm.
well. They brought him back. That's what brings me back to Brian Dubal. Okay, maybe
Hmm.
you bring him back. Um, and the Parcells way is different now, but it's still kind of the same. He's doing, but with a spin 2.0 that can relate to younger younger players.
Hmm.
But they look good. I got to give him that. I mean, he brought them. Drake May's doing well. They beat the Texans. Like I said, the Texans defense. Oh my gosh, to keep them in that
Oh
game by
man.
12,
Oh man.
12 points.
Yeah.
I
They
mean, it's
played.
kind of
They played their hearts out, but they was on the field a lot. They was on the
yes.
field a lot. 3 and out with the offense or turnover with the offense, and they're right back on the field. Especially in the conditions. You need to get warmed up. But if they sit down in three, and in less than 5 minutes, they got to get right back up. Yeah,
They
but yeah, they
it was
um there has to be some decisions and gonna have to be some talk, with the quarterback and see where the mindset is. Because once he checks out, he checks out. And this is what, year 4, year 5?
yeah, he I definitely agree with you. I mean, he had some bright spots last year, and they looked like they were, like they were going to be the team, and they were really they turned out to be, a monster.
Mm-hmm.
But I said it. I was talking with a friend of mine, and they're a Houston, and I said, man, if uh if they lose, it's gonna be a lot of CJ Stroud. And sure
Yeah.
enough, it's I'm not, there was other mistakes made. You don't want to blame one game. I mean, I'm not
Mm-hmm.
trying to, but those 4 interceptions.
Yeah.
Holy cow! I mean,
Yeah.
you could.
You can't have it. And the conditions that you're playing in, so you have to adjust with that. But yeah.
So the pipes sound good in the morning. I think I look at it and he's still a young quarterback. May need some.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they need to bring in a different quarterback coach. Like I said, they got a great running back. It just
Mm-hmm.
what I saw was every time he's trying to scramble around, he lobbed the ball up, and it's like just throw it to the side. You don't have to
Just
try to
throw it
make the
away.
pass.
Yeah. Throw it
Just throw it
away.
away.
Don't yeah.
Yeah. Those interceptions
Now,
were, like I said, four interceptions in the playoffs. I was like, and Josh had some. I mean, it wasn't like Josh didn't have anything.
right,
It's
he
hard
was
to,
holding the football like a loaf of bread too. That's something he has to. absolutely
Yeah.
stop doing. Just holding the football out there.
Yes.
They
Yes.
they watch film. They see what y'all do. So you have to change it up. They easy target.
Well, and then the other thing is, I mean, he was carrying it like this, like Earl
Yeah,
Campbell, the old
like a
Earl Campbell way.
stack of
And
bread. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I was like, man, that's um, because some guys can run up behind you quick. All I got to do is tip the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And so they had five interceptions and they had a fumble. Five. They took
Yeah,
advantage. The Patriots definitely
it
took
was a bad
advantage
game.
of five turn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, five turnovers. I mean, that's a lot. Um, that's a lot for anyone to overcome. And like I said, they by only losing by 12, pretty. I mean, it speaks very heavy on their defense. And I like
Mm-hmm.
their coach. For a second, I really thought he was going to bench him. For a second,
I
I
did
thought he
too.
was going to bench.
Yeah, he had that look in his face, like he was
He did.
looking over at Mims, like, mm.
Yeah, there was no doubt. I mean, he may never admit it, but boy, it sure did. It looked like he was going to bench him, especially after
Hmm.
uh, that last interception. I was
The
like,
last interception.
oh, that's
Yeah,
not.
yeah, yeah. He's about to
But he
sit
stood with
down.
him. He
Yeah.
wrote it. He wrote it out. He wrote it out. All right, next game, and let me tell you what on that was the under. I hit an
Hmm.
under on the first quarter because I figured it was going to be kind of tight. Um, the Rams and the Bears. This one I got wrong. I
Man.
really thought the over was going to come in. So the Bears, the Bears were at home.
Hmm.
Kind of thought the Bears were going to get them only because Los Angeles hasn't played well. Not that they're a bad team. They're a bad to the bone team. Well coached, super. Don't make a lot, but
Hmm.
they just haven't been playing. And they came in and they capitalized on Caleb Williams' three interceptions. And it was a fight to. I mean, Chicago. Hats off to them. Um,
Yeah,
because it went to overtime, baby. It went to overtime.
yeah.
Um,
So they fought the fight amidst
they
the
fought the fight.
turnovers. Yeah, amidst the turnovers, but
Yeah,
the more veteran quarterback and team pulled it off in the end.
yeah. I mean, that's pretty much you hit the nail on the head. I think the Bears. Man, the Bears have a lot to look forward to. Man, they
Oh
got a
yeah,
great.
yeah,
Yeah, they got a great young team. Caleb Williams is. I mean, they're coming along. You know what I mean? They really are. They're
right.
moving. And they,
Right.
they played in the game that was going to send them either, to the NFC Championship. So, man, and this is another good example. It's good to see Chicago football
Mm-hmm.
back. They've had spurts, and it makes you wonder sometimes, because this was a well, I mean, this was a franchise that had a lot of pride, and sometimes they just fall into these downward spirals. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
kind of like the Raiders. You know what I mean? It's like they can't get anything right. It's just like,
Yeah.
wow. And can you be that unlucky? And yes, you can be that unlucky.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, and hats off to Matthew Stafford. And like I said, when you look up Matthew Stafford, and he was in Detroit for a long time, so he got
Oh yeah.
overlooked. He's got Hall of Fame numbers, and I didn't. I never really paid a lot of attention to him in Detroit because they weren't winning any games. They weren't.
Right.
But I think they're going to be tough to beat. You know what I mean? They're going to be. But it's hard for me to sway against uh Seattle.
Yeah.
Um, 'Cause that's what you're
Yeah.
talking. In fact, let's go to that. Let's see what we got here. Let me
Yeah. Because
see.
I feel like Seattle has the momentum right now. It's incredible that three
I,
of the four teams in that division were playing in the playoff because this is another divisional
yes.
game. But
Tell me
I
that's not
like it.
crazy.
Yeah,
It
I
shows you a
like it.
lot.
Right, and it's going to be even kill. Even though you got the 13th man, uh, you also have the Rams that's familiar and playing there, and and they're familiar with how Seattle defense plays. So it'll be interesting to see what type of wizardry that Sean McVay comes up with for this playoff game because it's going to be loud in there.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's going to be loud and cold and um it's going to be it is definitely going to be loud in there. Let me see if I could pull that up over here. I'm trying to pull it up. There we go. All right. I'm trying to pull it up as we speak. Um, let's do NFL. Okay. So there's another thing on some of them. You can actually buy. It's kind of like remember the squares. You buy a
Yeah,
square, they draw the numbers. Well, on
yeah.
some of the books, you can actually can buy a square. You could buy your
Hmm.
numbers 0070. And if it hits any time during the game, whatever, it's kind of neat. I mean, it's not,
Oh, that's awesome.
um,
Yeah.
yeah, it keeps you in the, you could bet small and have a little piece of the game. And then, kind of go from there. What's the T you want before we get into this? What's the T you got?
Okay, NFL team. Um, okay, we talked about this earlier about the Dolphins hires Packers defensive coordinator Hafley as their next head coach.
Okay.
Jeff Hafley is am I saying it right? Hafley.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, yeah.
And yeah, it was announced not too long ago, a few minutes ago our time. Yeah, he's been hired as the next head coach for the Miami Dolphins. We talked about Bills firing Sean McDermott. The Seahawks has lost running back Charbonnet for the rest of playoffs. So we'll see what the injury is about when we go over that game. Uh, let's see. The big news was the Las Vegas Raiders are believed to be in talks with trying to lure Lamar Jackson to their franchise.
Okay. Yeah, I
Yeah,
wasn't expecting. I wasn't expect. So, do you think? Wow, that's you just dropped a bombshell on me because I wasn't really
yeah.
thinking. Um,
They're trying to lure him to the franchise. They've just been talking with him. There's nothing. There's nothing etched in stone yet. They've just been talking to him, trying to entice him, to come play for the Las Vegas Raiders.
so
Uh,
I was. Let me see. There was something I saw, and there's so much stuff, hot takes, and people.
yeah, hot takes and
So,
stuff out there. People leaking stuff. Yeah.
yeah, it wears me out sometimes because it's like you're just trying to get a hot take and then catch some.
Hmm.
There was something on. Um, I thought I saw something on him speaking about something about basically him making some comments, and maybe that's
Hmm.
what because I that throws me that kind of throws me a little bit. I would have thought with the money they gave him, um, maybe he doesn't. Maybe he wants to. But I mean, golly. But I guess my thought process is, I mean, cool, do whatever. But
Hmm.
you go into the Raiders, they don't have anything. I mean, they're pretty.
Exactly. So
They're pretty.
what can you give him? You know,
money. I mean, I get the money.
yeah,
You could
money part.
yeah, I get all
But
that, but I'm saying,
mhm.
but then it starts. You go, well, is he trying to win a ring? Because to me, if you go to the Raiders, you're a few
Yeah,
years
you're
out.
done. You're cooked. You're cooked. And
But at the
speaking of, yeah,
Mhm.
and quick, because now not only do you have to see Patrick Mahomes, you got to see him twice.
Yeah,
You got to see him twice every season, and probably in the playoffs as well. Speaking
right.
of Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, there has been talk of the Chiefs bringing back Eric Bieniemy to revamp the offense.
I think they need
So they're
to.
thinking, yeah, they're thinking about bringing back Eric Bieniemy to revamp that offense, and that would be a good move for them to do that.
Well, when the Chiefs were the Chiefs, they had all the weapons. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They had all the weapons. And I think that just, I know it's hard. It's easy to say, all you got to do is get the weapons. I get it. You got to get them on the right contract. You got to get them on this deal, that deal, so you can afford them. But man, the more weapons that you get a quarterback, him, Josh Allen, Lamar, um, all these guys with these cannon arms. I mean, you look at Dak, okay? I like Dak. I mean, he's a fourth round pick, done good. You know, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not the huge Dallas Cowboy fan, but I mean, he lights it up, man. He's got I mean, yeah, there you can always go, well, we're just talking about his stats. I'm not talking about playoff games or anything. I mean, he
Mm-hmm.
got some stats. They got that offense. They had that offense clicking. I mean, there's no
Yeah,
doubt about it. It was clicking. Um, so I think, yeah, I think they need to do that. I think they need to, obviously, what you have didn't work this year. And I think the year before, they were just, I don't know, the year before when they ran into Philly, that was a lot for them. You know what I mean? When they lost to Philly.
yeah.
But I think you have to, again, you got to change stuff up. I mean, I just think you got to. It's
You got to
just,
switch it up. Yeah,
yeah, you
absolutely.
got to switch it up. I mean, you just can't stay. I mean, unless you keep winning Super Bowls, I guess you leave it alone. But
Mm-hmm.
and it's hard now because these coordinators are getting they're getting a lot of money to come coach. I can't blame it if
Yeah,
if that was your goal to be a head coach in NFL. I mean, you can't turn it down. I mean, that's kind of
right. You gotta go for it. And
okay. Let's go ahead.
so no, but that was all the breaking news. They're interviewing Kevin Stefanski in Atlanta as well about the head coaching job down there. But other than that, that was like all of the NFLT that I've had so far. And if there's any more, I will just tune in to khamradio.com. And throughout the day, they will be airing the sports break, where Tony G and I will be putting up shorts where we will be covering all the sports that we can't cover, in our show. So just stay tuned. We're going to be all over the place.
Okay, so let's talk
All right.
about New England and Denver. They're playing in
Yeah.
Denver. I don't think
Mm.
that matter. I don't think that matters too much about the weather.
Right.
I know
Mm-hmm.
the altitude does. I'm sure the Patriots are already there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so the 5 point game, Denver's +5. Now, they don't have their starting quarterback. They
Right.
have Jared Stidham.
Jared Stidham.
Yeah. Now, do I think he'll be prepared? I do. I do because
Mm-hmm.
Sean Payton's going to make sure that he's prepared.
Right.
Um, and Sean Payton's going to be Sean Payton, and he's not going to ask him to do anything out of his
No.
realm. Um,
Right. He's going to keep that offense simple for him,
yeah.
but it's going to be a
Not
lot.
a,
I'm thinking there's going to be a lot of motion, play action, stuff like that. Going to rely a lot on that running game. I saw in the headline where it's possible that J.K. Dobbins might return. for the
Okay.
game. Is not for certain yet. So I think that's what it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be run heavy, short pass, screen, fades, a lot of motion.
So here's where it gets tricky. Now, Jared Stidham, Stidham, I mean, I can't really get on betting on him on his props. 200 yards, pace 105. Drake May is minus 235 for 200. I mean, there's some props in there, especially on the
Hmm.
rush yards. This is how I see this game. If they get that kid to just play pretty good, Stidham,
Yeah,
they could beat New England because of that
hmm,
defense. And
right.
that defense, um, and that defense, it's not as good as Houston's, but it's pretty darn good. And
Hmm.
Sean Payton's gonna, try to give that kid fits behind like I said, Houston, they beat Houston. CJ Stroud had a bad day, four
Yeah,
interceptions, one they had one fumble.
yeah.
So if Denver, okay, if Denver, which I believe they will, keep it very simple. Sean Payton's going to keep it very simple for him. All
Hmm.
right. I like Denver with the 5 points. I really do. And because the defense can be the difference of the whole thing. Because all the kids got to do is not just, they don't throw a lot anyway. Bo Nix,
Right,
it ain't like
right.
that's all they're doing is airing it out. So they're not going to ask a lot from um, they're not going to ask a lot rush yards. Okay,
Hit
there's
'em.
still some
Yeah.
props that aren't on here, but yeah, they're not going to ask a
Hmm.
lot out of him. They're not asking him to air it out. And I'm sure,
Right.
like I said, I'm sure Sean Payton's on it right now. Because it had to be serious for him not to. To be out for the rest of the playoffs.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
So
that's pretty. The scary part is a backup quarterback, literally who just got in could have a chance of going to the Super Bowl, which is
yeah,
pretty
which is
amazing. Which is pretty
yeah,
amazing. Which is
pretty
really kind
pretty
of cool.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, and you could tweak. You can go to 6.5 minus 135. Um, like I said, the defense is going to keep them in the game.
Hmm.
Uh, there's no doubt about that. The over under is 41. Um, I like the under because I think Sean Payton's going to play. I doubt he comes out. I think he's going to play real conservative. Some
Oh yeah.
passes, but I think they're going to try to
Hmm.
wear out the clock, play that hard nosed football that he likes to play,
Yeah.
um, and then let New England try to beat his defense, which, like I said, they're going to have their hands full. Um, but I like the Broncos plus 5.5 at this moment, and I like the under. I have to check out some props. I know there's some more injuries that are coming out. Um, Pay attention to, and we already know it's going to be cold and probably snowing. So
Yeah.
that's a given. On the weather, if it's too, both teams are prepared for that. Um,
Mhm.
but it could be the weather could be real bad, and it could be a real slugfest. Um, which kind of could play, which kind of could play in Denver's favor a little. You know what
Right.
I mean?
Right. Hmm.
Slowing down. The Rams and the Seahawks. The Rams are getting 2.5 points.
Hmm.
So, and we already know Sean Pay. He's Sean. Sean's gonna have them prepared. They're not going to make a
Hmm.
lot of mistakes. They
Hmm.
are going to be. They're going to be ready. There's no doubt about it.
Right.
I think. I think. Now let's see pass yards. Look up pass yards. Matthew. No TDs. STs. Wait a minute. Pass yards. See, there it is. Pass yards. Pass yard. This is this is Matthew Stafford to throw 200 yards is minus 460. No money there. Him to throw 220. minus 275. No money there. Basically, you don't get into the money to about 250, 260, 270, 280. And that's a lot.
That's outrageous. Yeah. So you got to make an outrageous
Yeah,
bet to get
the
it.
way they got it, set up. Now, Sam Darnold, to throw, maybe we got him a little high. If he so, because at 220, he's minus 170. And that's kind of, like I said, you can go from book to book, compare. I like the Rams, but I like Seattle. I like Seattle minus 2.5. You can get them on the money line. It's 152. The over here is 47. I kind of dig the over. I'm not gonna lie about that. I kind of dig the over. I gotta check the weather though. I gotta just see if it's raining. If it's too crazy. And it's amazing to see Seattle back in it. You know what I mean? The Seattle back in.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really is kind of amazing. Well, listen to us during the week for our sports book shorts that we have all during the week on KM Radio. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. I want to thank Big Lou and everybody at KM Radio. And hey, Elaw, happy birthday, buddy! Happy birthday! All right, guys. Like I said, hit us up on our Facebook page. Right on. Hit us up on our Facebook page, Sportsbook or KM Radio, if you have any local events, any kind of advertising, or if you just want to be a sponsor of one of the many shows that we have, please hit us up. All right, Big Lou, we got another one. We got another one in the books. KM Radio, where we go ham. It's your boy Tony G, Big Lou, Tuesday night, 8 o'clock. KM Radio, where we go ham.
Damn.
Cool.